James Helder, IFL TV, in association with MTK Global. With me, I've got trainer Shane McGUIGAN. We're back in Belfast. Just the announcement of Carl Frampton returning on the 29th to face Andres Gutierrez.
Yeah,
How are you, Shane?
Andre Gutierrez. Yeah, good, thanks, mate.
Good.
Excited.
You're looking a bit hench since last time we caught up. You've definitely not missed arm day. What's been happening?
I haven't missed cheat day, mate. I think I just put a little bit of weight on. I'm lucky it goes around my shoulders and my arms, but no, it's get back into it and keep training. But I like to lift weights, so got to keep strong when you're taking punches all day long. Or else your arms start really hurting.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about Carl Frampton. He's back in camp. Big fight for him back in Belfast. Been nearly 2.5 years since he's been here in front of his own crowd. What are you expecting from Carl this time round?
Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting him to get back to winning ways. Gutierrez is a tough young guy, 23. Had one loss against Christian Alvarez, which arguably I thought he won it. So you know, he's kind of heavy puncher. Was a super bantamweight, but moved up. But he's only, you know, you just see him today. He's a big lump for a featherweight. He looks quite heavy. So we've just got to be on point. We've got to be sharp. Carl has to just. This next phase in his career, it's like how does he adjust to a defeat? You know, he can come back better, or you know, he can come back stale and not have the hunger. But from what I'm seeing in the gym, he's in the gym. He's willing to learn again. He's back to that sort of development stage, and that's where you want to keep your fighters. You want to keep him hungry and willing to learn and get back in there sparring. Really, he was really excited to start sparring, which is a good thing. So. Yeah, it's, you know, hopefully we put on a great fight and a great performance.
How long did it take you to get him refocused after the disappointment to Santa Cruz, and to sort of get his head around the fact that the rematch wasn't immediately happening?
It was a tough hurdle to get over, but from a mental aspect, physically it's fine, you prepare for fights, but mentally when you're preparing for someone on the third time, or even for the second time, like back-to-back rematches, you get a little bit stale. You know, you do the same interviews, everything's the same process. But then to go back in and do a third fight when they're one apiece, you know, it's quite sort of draining. So I think this is great for him. I think it's great that he's having a fight and gets him back to, you know, gets the fire back in his belly. And you know, he's definitely disappointed with the whole Santa Cruz thing not materialising. But there was other options there with Selby. Selby had to fight as mandatory. We really wanted that fight, but maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Maybe they're all elite fighters. Maybe we get him a guy that is, you know, working his way up to world class, but he's not. Yeah, he's fringe sort of world class, and then hopefully Carl puts on a great performance, gets his mojo back.
Now, WBC eliminator, if he is successful, he'll get potentially a chance to face Gary Russell Jr. That in itself could be a really, really big fight. As a trainer and as an advisor to Carl, what fight would you prefer him to go to in the future? Would it be the Gary Russell Jr. fight? Would it be the Leo Santa Cruz fight, or would it be the Lee Selby fight?
I think Selby and Santa Cruz. You know, Santa Cruz is one apiece, and Selby's just a domestic. You know, it's a big showdown back home, and you know, I think Selby's due a big fight. I feel for him a little bit the fact that he hasn't got that. He's been respectful, doesn't call people out. So I think if that makes sense, then we'll go for the Santa Cruz and then hopefully get the Selby fight.
I want to talk a little bit on George Groves winning the world title, fourth time of asking, massive for George, and I think the whole country were proud of him.
Yeah.
We don't know what it is about the UK, but we seem to take to people more after we see them
defeat.
fail after defeat. So, for George's point of view and for yourself, it must have been a massive achievement. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, amazing. You know, myself and George started working a year and a half ago, and to see, you know, we've got really close as mates. You know, and obviously we've got that respect between each other. And our main goal wasn't to, you know, he's been in big fights. He's had the De Gale fight at an early stage. He's always been in big fights from quite early on in his career. Obviously had that Carl Froch huge fight, both of them. So for us it was like, okay, let's win the world title. Let's stick to a governing body that's going to deliver that for us. And the WBA came through. We fought for the super belt, and he won it. You know, against a guy that, you know, was Fedor Chudinov. It'd been obviously only fought Buglioni, so people didn't really know him. But the shots that he was taking, you can see now why he was, you know, why he was a world champion, and I think why he'll come again. and just great. Honestly, I have to say, it was one of my best nights of boxing. That and the Santa Cruz first fight was just amazing. I wish it had been on a show that George was headlining, but at the same stage, Bramwell Lane just embraced him. Everyone there just embraced him. And he sort of came out and was like, that's never happened before. I got cheered in and got cheered out. Sometimes I get booed in and cheered out, and vice versa, I get cheered in and booed out. So I'm so happy for him. You know what I mean?
He's a bit misunderstood at times, Groves, isn't he? He's very dry. He's very funny. He's funny.
Yeah, he's funny.
He's a bit misunderstood, obviously.
You know, he's a private man. He doesn't want people to know much about him, and you've got to respect that, you know. And he plays mind games. He's a clever guy, and he's had fun with it. But I think at this stage of his career now, it's like, you know, you can't let that take over from what is really going on. And you're in a hard fight, or, you know what I mean. You have to get yourself focused for it, and you know, all those defeats that he's suffered has made him the man that he is today. And you see that post. I think that's one of the best post-fight interviews I've ever seen in my life, and that just shows him. That sums him up. That's the George Groves that I know. You know what I mean? That's him in a nutshell, and he's just a genuine person.
Yeah, I was there when he lost to Badu Jack out in Vegas, so to see him finally achieve his dream on TV was a great moment. So congratulations to George. Finally, I want to talk on the most amicable boxing split that was seen between yourself and David Haye.
Yeah.
We saw the statement come out from yourself and Haymaker. Could you shed any light on sort of what's happened and what's gone on that we may not be partial to?
No, I mean, it is exactly as a statement. People were saying, you know, I was advising him to retire and this and that, and it's not true. You know, me and David, we worked together for over, you know, pretty much a month before me and George started working together, and we just didn't quite click. You know, like I did my best for him, and he put a lot of effort in, and you know, we both sort of realised that it wasn't quite gelling, and you just I want the best for him. And he wants, obviously, he has not got a long time left in his career, so he wants to make sure it's right. And you know, that pretty much sums it up. Like, you know, he's a great guy. I'm still friends with him. I'm still going to be in his corner in his future fights. You know, emotionally, I'll be there, and I hope he gets back to where he belongs, and you know, becomes world champion again, because he deserves it. He's been through a lot. He's doing a documentary about his life, and I think people will realise they'll see him for who he is through the documentary. Everyone's got their assessment and judgment on him, but you know, he'll come out of boxing and put that documentary out, and people will see what he's about.
On that note, Shane, thank you very much for answering my questions so honestly. Good to see you today, and good to have Frampton back in Belfast. Thank you very much, Shane. Cheers, mate.